What's up, everybody, and welcome to Read the Bible with me. I'm Stan Jr., and today we're looking at chapter 12 of the book of Judges. Now, if you're new here, go ahead and click subscribe to this channel, and if you are a Bible Club member, please click like on this video and leave a comment below. Remember that all my Bible Club members do are support with $10 a month through Patreon so we can send Bibles to persecuted Christians and missionaries throughout the world through an organization called Voices of Martyrs. So please do that if you will. And let's begin in chapter 12, verse 1 today. Small chapter, but it's got some goods in it. And so it says, the men of Ephraim were called to arms. It means they came to fight, and they crossed the Zephon and said to Japheth, why did you cross over to fight against the Ammonites and did not call us to go with you? We will burn your house over you with fire. So they were mad. They thought he didn't call. And Japheth said to them, I and my people had a great dispute with the Ammonites, and when I called you, you did not save me from their hand. And then I saw that you would not save me. I took my life in my own hands and crossed over against the Ammonites, and the Lord gave them into my hand. So why then have you come up to me this day to fight against me? Then Japheth gathered on all the men of Gilead and fought with Ephraim. Now you see how far Japheth has gone away, and Ephraim as well. The leaders have gone so far astray from the laws of Moses because Moses prohibited any inward fighting amongst themselves, amongst the tribes. And now they've moved so far away from God that they are literally fighting each other. They're from the same family, if you will, and they are fighting each other now. Many times when we move away from God, hear me, when Christian leaders move away, when people of God move away from the Lord and really the Word of God, we will begin fighting each other. Denominational fights. We're fighting over the small things, little things, when we should be working on the mission of God, which is to reach the lost and preach the gospel to them and help those that Christ tells us to help and comfort. But when we take our focus off of what we're supposed to be doing, we'll start fighting over little things within ourselves. And that makes us weak. It really does. It makes us weak. Jesus prayed that we would be unified because that shows the strength of his people. Now, then Japheth gathered all his men, and he fought with Ephraim, and the men of Gilead struck Ephraim, because they said, you are fugitives of Ephraim, you Gileadites, in the midst of Ephraim and Manasseh. So they were calling out to them, saying all kinds of stuff. And the Gileadites captured the fords of the Jordan against the Ephraimites. And when any of the fugitives of Ephraim said, let me go over, the men of Gilead said to him, are you an Ephraimite? So they would ask the Ephraimite that. And then if they wanted to go over, they had to say, well, no, I'm not. And so they said to him, then say Shibboleth. And he would say Sibboleth. And so that showed them that he couldn't pronounce the way he pronounced it like an Ephraimite would pronounce it. That's all. So for he could not pronounce it right, then they would seize him and slaughtered him at the fords of the Jordan. So they would kill him because they knew he was trying to cross over. At that time, 42,000 of the Ephraimites fell. Of God's people, Japheth judged Israel only 6 years. Then Japheth the Gileadite died and was buried in his city in Gilead. After him, Ibzan, of Bethlehem judged Israel, and he had 30 sons and 30 daughters he gave in marriage outside of his clan, and 30 daughters he brought in from outside for his sons, and he judged Israel 7 years. Then Ibzan died and was buried at Bethlehem. After him, Elon and the Zebulunite judged Israel, and he judged Israel 10 years. Then Elon the Zebulunite died and was buried at Ajalon in the land of Zebulun. After him, Abdon, the son of Hillel, the Pirathonite, judged Israel. He had 40 sons and 30 grandsons, and who rode on 70 donkeys, and he judged Israel 8 years. Then Abdon, the son of Hillel, the Pirathonite, died and was buried in Parathon, in the land of Ephraim, in the hill country of the Amalekites. And so this is leading up to the new judge that's going to be coming in and ruling. And this is a famous judge, of course, famous Judge Samson. And so what we see in chapter 12 is that Japheth has moved so far away from what the precepts of Moses and the laws of Moses that were taught to him that he's now fighting with other tribes within his own family. And then you have these new judges that come in that make way for the birth of Samson. And we'll talk about that next time I see you. Thank you so much for reading the Word of God with me today. And I'm grateful that I get to read with you amazing people every single day, people that want to read the Bible every day. So I'm grateful for your company, and I'm thankful for you. If you'd like to support this ministry, click the link down in the description box, and let's do something great together, all right? God bless you. Till next time, I'll see you. Peace.